Okay, now I am visiting with Mr. and Mrs. McGuire, Alan, and Beverly. I appreciate your time and visiting with me today while we're here in Barnhart. Do y'all live inside the city or out on a ranch?
No, we live in town.
How many years have y'all lived here?
About 35.
35, so this is truly home. Are you from this area or?
More or less. We both raised in the Odessa Midland.
Odessa
area.
Midland. Okay, all right. So, Commissioner Nanny was saying that, 3-5 years ago there were probably 100 or so families here, and now there's less than 50. How has this personally impacted y'all?
What, the sand issue?
Yes.
There's some health issues at stake here. And I'm sure there is another family. Beverly and I have reached the age where there is some health issues. The dust in the air all the time creates a little congestion. We've both been to the doctor over a time or two. We treat it with antibiotics, the usual. But, on the other hand, economically it's helped us. We rent some spaces out for RVs, trucks, what have you. And economically it has helped the few local people left.
Okay.
Did that answer your question?
Sure. Absolutely.
I would just say that it's more the oil field further out than the sand plant that has helped Barnhart on the whole.
Right, because there are a lot of,
Yeah,
I know we have people in San Angelo that work in Midland, Odessa that rent property in San Angelo and make that commute daily.
Right.
So there just hasn't been enough housing. So you're saying that predominantly on your property it's the people that are working out here as opposed to the actual frac sand operation. You were saying that the dust and all that's in the air has been giving y'all health issues, predominantly breathing.
We live on the north side. In our area, you have a dominant south wind most of the time. It's all part of progress. No, we don't care for the dust and its issues. If this film is for the people in San Angelo, I would think there was some place out of town they could do the same thing. There's sacrifices to everything in progress. I'm not saying that makes it all right. If I had a home in San Angelo where they're going to get some of this truck traffic from the sand, I would be opposed to it too, very much.
I noticed that the roads and the sidewalks and everything here is literally has just a coating on it, a layer. And today happens to be a day when I think it rained a little bit through here last night, and it misted on us driving in, so everything's kind of packed down just a little bit today, so we're not getting as much of the, I'm thankful, as much dust in the air. But it's obvious, you can see it on all the buildings and everywhere.
Sure.
Tell me, Beverly, your thoughts on.
Well, if you like to clean house every day, you definitely want to vote for it if that's your favorite thing to do, because every day you can write your name on all your furniture, and it's just it's impossible to keep it out.
How far? Give me an idea from the transloading plant to where you actually live. What kind of distance are we talking?
We're talking about 3.5 blocks.
3.5 blocks.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's a pretty good radius, because that literally, I'm saying, I would imagine you're on this side of the track, and it's over still away beyond the actual block itself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How has the traffic been and the trains, and how has all of that impacted your life?
Well, he doesn't hear as well, but it keeps me awake a lot because I hear everything. And my girls tease me that I can hear a cat walk across the floor, and that's pretty close to it. And so it's a problem because every time they cross any highway or any place where there's going to be a crossing, the whistles blow, and that's because for safety,
The train.
the train. And so it's going to wake you up if you. And I wear earplugs sometimes, even just to. But I lie awake at night and count trucks on the highway here, and there's lots of trucks going and coming out of the sand plant.
Instead of counting sheep, you count trucks.
Yes, ma'am.
How many trucks have you counted before you fell asleep?
Oh, I would say usually it's between 38 and maybe 58 before and that's not in a very long period of time, but I would say that's about the amount that I count before I am able to drift off. And then if I'm awake longer than that, then you can just double it.
What would you guess is the number of trucks that are coming through your community?
I'd say over 200 easy, maybe 300.
In what period of time?
She said in a day, didn't you? Did you say
Well,
in a day?
whatever time frame.
Uh-huh. I would say 200 to 300 in a day, in a 24-hour period. Yes, ma'am.
Can you think of any other ways that this has impacted? You mentioned that as far as the oil business itself, it's been a positive impact because you had property to lease. But is there any other positives, or is the other aspects of it all negative?
Well, you know we have a water shortage. That's a big thing here. And the more activity you have, the more less water we have. And I've always sold pecans at Christmas for our Christmas gifts, and this year we couldn't water, of course, and so that didn't happen. And that's something I enjoy doing, and my neighbors depend on me to have them for Christmas. And
Are your trees doing okay with the drought, or are they suffering?
oh no, I've already lost several trees.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Any anything in particular you'd like to say to San Angelo in regards to having literally a frac sand transloading facility right across the track from you?
Woo!
Well, if I had a home there involved in the traffic or the direct place for the loading, I wouldn't like it either. And I understand that there's zones for it. Bill Pfluger owns the property. I'm an advocate of people doing what they want to with their own property. At the same time, you've got the majority there. All these people can do is try to help them find another place on the railroad track. I know these companies have been 50 or 60 miles up and down from this area looking at places they can use for loading or unloading where the track is close to the highway. Hence Barnhart got them. But yes, you asked did I have a message for people. Yes, I would contact it as long as I could.
Yeah. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much for sharing your story with us today.
Thank you very much.